Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the MicTuning P1S-AC. As you can tell, it is completely wireless. My first wireless switch panel. I've been rocking it for about 6 or 7 months, and this thing is awesome. Before we get into the video, quick demonstration just to show you how awesome this thing is. Our truck is 180 feet away up by the house. Yes, I measured, it's my driveway. But yet here we are. As you can see, whatever I push on or off, it's working from 180 feet away. This thing has been an awesome addition to our build. Let's talk about what comes in the box. We'll cover the install super quick because it's very easy to do. And then we're going to go over this wireless panel in a little more detail. Here's everything that's going to come in the kit. You get your decals for your switch panel. This is a little holder that slides right down in there if you want to do it. I'll show you how I have mine mounted in the truck. You get your instruction manual, a whole bunch of stickers, all of your mounting brackets for not only your fuse panel, but different ways to mount this. Again, I did a little something custom, which I'll show you. This is your fuse box. I'll give you a quick look at how that looks, and then we're going to go over the wiring real fast as well. Super easy to get this thing wired up. Then they send you your wiring that you're going to need for positive and negative hookups. This is the antenna, again, because it's wireless. You get your AC wiring with the fuse tap. This is optional. We actually don't have it installed on the truck, but I'll show you what it's for. Some zip ties, your charging cable for your switch panel, and then all of the hardware you're going to need. And one of the last things they send you, a little Phillips head screwdriver, which this might not seem like a big deal, but the size of this is the perfect fit for these tiny little screws that are in here. So this is just a nice little touch that they send in the package. Makes your life a lot easier when you're wiring up all your accessories to your spots. As far as install, guys, this literally couldn't be easier. You're going to pick a location for your fuse panel. Typically, you're going to want it next to your battery unless you have some kind of different custom setup like you're going to see in my truck. But it's as simple as this. You're literally just going to take your positive wire. Again, these come with the kit. Unless you need a longer one, they provide everything you're going to need for the install. But you can see where the positive connects right here. You're going to run this one to that location on your fuse block. Out the other end, you're going to the positive port or positive spot on your battery. Now, just pretend this is my truck battery. I'm just using my ice fishing battery for an example, but just pretend this is your vehicle battery. The negative is going to go from this spot right here to the negative post on your vehicle battery. Now, for your antenna, it has this little pigtail right here. You're simply going to screw the antenna in this location, and they provide you with the 118 inches to mount this antenna pretty much wherever you want it. They recommend mounting it somewhere around your A-pillar. You're going to see in my truck, I actually have it in the bed of my truck with a tonneau cover over it, and the range is incredible. So they do say to mount it by your A-pillar, but I have had zero issues as far as reception or this thing communicating. 118 inches to basically mount it wherever you need it or want it. Now, wiring it this way, this is going to provide your switch panel with power 24/7. So whatever lights or accessories you have ran to your fuses, you're going to be able to turn them on or off using the remote, whether your vehicle is running or not. If you want to run it to an accessory fuse, meaning that this panel will only get power when your vehicle is turned on or running, that's where this accessory wire comes in. Again, as you're going to see, I didn't use this. I like being able to turn on all my accessories, whether the vehicle is on or not. But if you want to have it set up that way, all you have to do, little white connector goes into that spot right there. There's a switch that you can see, hopefully, right here. You would just slide that switch over towards the white connection port. And then this is where your fuse tap would come in handy. You're going to connect the other end of your accessory wiring into the fuse tap. Find a fuse on your vehicle that's only getting power when the vehicle is on or running. You're going to tap into that fuse. If you're not familiar with how to use a fuse tap, they're super easy to do. We're not going to cover that in this video, but it's extremely simple. And then you're good as long as that switch is pushed over towards accessory. This is only going to get power doing it that way when the truck or vehicle is on or running. Now, what sets this P1S-AC apart is typically you would have to run another wire from wherever you're mounting your fuse panel to your switch panel. Absolutely awesome feature to be able to have this thing completely wireless and use it wherever you are with a range of up to close to 200 feet. So let me show you how I have this thing hooked up in the truck, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the switch panel, all of its features, and how I've used it over the last few months and how it's made such a difference in my setup. If you guys like what you see, I will put a link down below for you. It's an Amazon affiliate link. Of course, it helps support the channel. I do appreciate you guys using them links, and make sure you check out all of our sponsors down there as well. I appreciate all of them and all of you for using the links and discount codes. It really does help us here on the channel to let us keep doing what we love. Back to the video. Quick look at how we have it set up in our truck. Here's the panel. I popped the top off just so you can see. Wiring is ran all exactly like I showed you, other than the fact that instead of going to our vehicle battery, we have a 600 amp hour battery bank back here for everything that we run in our overlanding build. We're actually about to add a third, which is why everything is a mess. We're going up to 900 amp hours. But anyway, instead of running the positive and negative from the fuse box direct to the vehicle battery like I showed you, we have the positive and negative going to our bus bars. No big deal. However, if you do have auxiliary batteries, however your setup is, you can do either or. That's really the only difference in how I have it versus what I showed you in the garage. Of course, all these wires are from all of our accessories, connected to the appropriate spots. The only other thing I wanted to point out is, look where our antenna is mounted. And this is what I mean by, they claim you should mount it by your A-pillar for best connection and range and all that good stuff. But guys, I'm telling you, even with it mounted all the way back here, I just have it stuck to the top of one of our batteries with double-sided tape. I've had zero issues with the range. As you saw in the beginning part of the video, this thing works up to 200 feet away. Even with the bed closed, the tailgate closed, we have an electrical retracts tonneau cover that's always closed. So even with the antenna back here in the bed, with the bed sealed off and closed, our range has still been close to 200 feet with zero issues whatsoever. So I just wanted to show you, where we have it mounted, how we have it ran, and point out the fact that that antenna, they claim it needs to be by the A-pillar. I've had zero issues, and I've been using this thing for about 6 or 7 months now. Then coming inside the truck, here's how we have our 12-spot switch panel mounted. I 3D printed a custom design to put it right there. I used to have it down a little bit lower, kind of set back in there a little bit lower when we were using the other one that was wired. But again, not having to run those wires, it just opens up your mounting possibilities. They're pretty much endless because you don't have to worry about hiding that wire that would typically come to the back of your switch box. You can see what I did. I basically just 3D printed that piece that you see down in there, mounted that holder that I showed you right there, and then we take our switch panel, pop it right down in there, and we're good to go. If I need to charge it, I could either just remove the panel, take it in the house and charge it, or I typically keep the cord that comes with it. It stays right here in my center console, so I could either charge it while I'm driving, whatever the case may be. One thing I will say about the battery life as well, they claim up to 2 weeks of standby time. I got to be honest, this is one instance where I have to say I'm actually getting better performance than what they claim. I have an hour drive each way to work, so 2-hour round trip. 5 days a week, I have this thing on, especially my radar detector. And on the way home, because I take a lot of back roads, typically one of my light bars, if not my pods and bars. So this thing is running at minimum 2 hours a day. Guys, I get almost 3 weeks off a single charge. Now, with the colder weather coming up, we'll see how it kind of hangs up because we all know how cold weather affects batteries. But up to this point, I've literally gotten almost 3 weeks off a single charge before I have to take it in and recharge it or plug it in or whatever the case may be. So just keep that in mind. This is one case where I'm actually getting better performance than what the company actually claims. Now that you've seen this thing work at a distance and seen how easy it is to install, let's talk a little bit more about this remote before we wrap the video up. Very easy to use, user-friendly remote, charging port on the side for that USB-C cable that's included. There's also an on-off switch on the side. I always just keep it on because I turn the backlight off when I'm not using it. But just so you know, that is there. The remote itself still has all of the same features that we've grown to love from MicTuning over the years, and most of these panels do have them. You can change the backlighting color. You can change the brightness setting. I believe this has 5 or 6 different brightness settings. All of those features and functions are still there. You can change each individual spot to the flash mode, the strobe mode, the momentary mode where, you know, if you just push it, the thing will come, your light will come on, and then when you let it go, it turns off. All of those features are still there. I'm not going to go over them in detail. The instruction manual covers it in great detail, and it's super easy to adjust those settings. Again, the instruction manual goes over it, you know, everything you need to know from A to Z. Let's talk about the wireless capabilities, though. I've already mentioned it when we were inside the truck. The two biggest advantages and most obvious advantages are mounting location. You can mount this thing wherever you want, using the brackets that it comes with, using the holder that it comes with, attaching one of the brackets to the holder, doing something custom like I did, not having to hide the wire that typically comes to the back of these things. That is priceless in my opinion. It just allows you to mount this thing wherever you want it and give yourself kind of a custom feel and not have to worry about that wire showing or how to hide the wire and all that good stuff. So that, in my opinion, worth the price of admission alone. The other thing is, with this being wireless, however you're going to use it, if you're, you know, if you're an outdoorsman or a camper or an overlander like I am, you can take this out of the truck, keep it in your pocket when you're at camp, or if you're up in your tent or out in your tent, keep this on you. And if you need to turn your lights on, you have your remote right here. You saw how well it works at 180 feet away. So if you're even remotely close to the truck, this thing isn't going to let you down. Now, I usually do have my Devo's lights set up around camp and all that good stuff, but I still keep this on me if I need to turn on. I have lights on my bed rack and on my roof rack. I have lights everywhere on the truck. So if I need to turn any of them on, or if I need to turn, there's a couple other things I have connected to this as well. If I need to turn anything on while I'm at camp or up in my tent, I have this on me, and it's as easy as taking it out of my pocket, pushing a button, and my lights are on. So just having that wireless capability and being able to take this remote anywhere you go with you, around your vehicle, at camp, or whatever the case may be, again, just priceless having this wireless feature. And by the way, no, you're not seeing double. I actually do have two of these. This is the one I've been using in the truck for a few months now, but I did pick up a second one. We already have a MicTuning panel on the boat, but it's not one of the wireless ones, so we're making the swap over to wireless. That's how much I love this thing. So there you have it, guys, the P1S-AC from MicTuning. Give this thing a look. I will put a link down below for you. Check this thing out. It is absolutely worth upgrading to have this wireless capability. I do appreciate you guys using all the links down below. Check out our sponsors and our discount codes we have for a whole slew of companies down there. I appreciate them, and I appreciate you guys for using those links. It really does help support the channel. If I can help you out with any questions on this thing, let me know. Drop them down below, and I'll help you out the best I can. Thanks for watching, as always, and I'll see you on the next one.